Hey everyone, Tech OG here, representing those who are affording up above their tech. And by request, I am making this and some other videos to let you know about the emulators that I use for my Note 20 Ultra, or basically for any Android phone that I will ever have. Because I already told you that the Note 20, in my opinion, is a cult phone, and I'm going to keep this for a very long time. And so just want to show you some of the emulators that I use on here. And you already know the controller that I use, which is the Razer Kishi. And I believe this is, for me, the best controller that I've ever purchased and used for an Android phone. And one of the main reasons why is because it has a pass-through charging port. So you can connect it through or onto the controller and then connect a charging cord to charge the phone as you play. Can't really see it with the background, but it is charging, which is awesome. Anyway, so I'm going to talk about one emulator per video, and the emulator I'm going to start with is the Citra emulator, and that emulator plays 3DS games, or Nintendo 3DS games. I chose this emulator for 3DS games. Well, the main reason is, and I don't believe there's any other 3DS emulators in the Google Play Store. This is the only one, and it is the best one. So Citra, hats off to you. Fantastic job on this emulator. So you would store your ROMs in the internal memory. This does not read from the SD card or micro SD card. So you got to put everything in the internal memory. Lucky for me, my Note 20 Ultra has 512 gigabytes of internal storage. So I have some games at my disposal. Most of them are role-playing games. And configuring this, it's not that hard. You will go into the settings, which is the 3 ellipses. Tap on input binding and bind your controller to the buttons. So you press this, press the button, shows up A, B, X. In fact, let me pause this and finish, and then I'll get into some gameplay. Okay, now that I'm all configured, I can now scroll through my list of games with my controller. Let's go into a quick game, show you gameplay. Let's go into Pokemon Sun. The FPS, or frames per second, will appear in the upper left-hand corner. Let me turn this down so I'm not dinged by Nintendo. So upper left-hand corner shows you your FPS, frames per second, and this is mainly going to run at 30 frames per second. Some games will run at 60 frames per second depending on the game. So right now, it's at 30 frames per second. And this is my first time setting it up. Interesting. Or playing the game on my phone. Very interesting. So this is the very beginning, so it's going to run pretty well at the beginning because there's not a lot of movement in the game at the moment. So this is not technically full motion video or FMV. This is the actual game, so it's pretty cool that the FPS is still at around 30 frames. Now the VPS are the video frames per second, so if it's just video playing and not the actual gameplay, that would be running at 60 frames per second. So it moves pretty well for a phone that's a couple of years old, which I'm very happy about. Because I don't have to buy a latest and greatest phone to get good frame rates out of emulated games. Anyway, let's go to a different game. Oh, and another reason why I like the Citra emulator, you can cheat. Now, cheating online, not cool. But cheat by yourself, playing by yourself, hey, cheat all day. Because, hey, if you have an array of games like I have, and you don't have the time to play those games, then doggone it, cheat and be proud of cheating. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But if there's a game that I need to play without cheating, then I'll do that. Most of my role-playing games, I don't cheat. But if I need to, because some role-playing games can be, 40 hours, 50 hours. That's a lot of time. If I was 14, ain't no problem, because I beat Final Fantasy 9, no cheats, 150 hours logged into that game. I still remember that. But now that I am almost 50 years old, my friends, I don't have that kind of time to play games, so I'm going to cheat my butt off, because again, I have a lot of games I want to play, and I want to beat them all. So, let's try another game. Let's try Shinobi. As we see here, FPS is at 30 frames per second. And I've always been a fan of Shinobi since the Genesis Revenge of Shinobi. That game, wow. Still love that game to this very day. Okay, let's start a new game. Let's try on normal. Even though I'm probably going to get clobbered. Can we skip this? Apparently not. So at the beginning of this game, not a lot of movement in this either, so your FPS is going to be pretty much up there. Okay, people, can I skip all this, please, so I can get to some gameplay? Here we go. Oh, now that looks weird. Looks like I have to do some tweaking in the settings. Wow. No bodies, just sword and some thing on the top of the head. I don't know. Wow. I'll still show you gameplay. That looked weird. Oh, that was too bad. Shot in the back. That was cowardly. That's the way of the ninja. You're sneaky. Shoot in the back. $12.56 AD Japan. Oh, look at my character. Oh my god, I can't believe it. Oh. Oh, I can't even see my enemies. What? Yep, I definitely have to tweak this. Let's just see the FPS. It's going to be at 30. There we go. Let's be done with that because it just looks weird to play like that. Let's try one more game that will hopefully work. Let's try Metroid Samus Returns. I think this was based on a Game Boy game. I'm pretty sure it was. This just looks a whole lot better because it's on the 3DS. Alright, let's check out the gameplay on here. And I'm pretty sure I have some cheats loaded on here, so don't be shocked if you see some things that happen on here that normally doesn't happen. Ah, there you go, like multi-jump. Yep, cheat all day. By myself. I took a lot of hits. Oh, that's Metroid, and let's see the FPS, 30 frames per second. Looks great, plays smooth, love it. Acquired. So, That's gameplay on the Citra emulator, which again emulates Nintendo 3DS games. Fantastic emulator. I'm glad it was ported from PC onto Android. Works quite well. So look it up in the Google Play Store. Install it yourself. Find some ROMs for it, or if you have ROMs, and install it on your game or your phone. Play it out and let me know what you think about it. If you enjoyed this video, then definitely leave a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Tell your friends about my channel, and I hope to see you in the next video.